Hello and welcome here at Asia Auto Ambassador. I'm Bernd from Germany and this is an electric vehicle from China. This is the JAC e-JS4. Complicated name, but let's see the car carrying this name, how it performs, how it drives and what it offers. Enjoy this video. Warm welcome here at Asia Auto Ambassador with me, Bernd, and the Chinese electric vehicle. The face of the JAC e-JS4 is very modern, quite minimalistic. We've got these LED daytime running light and indicator, and here we have the LED headlights, and there are small intakes down here. The air intakes are still needed to cool the battery and also the electric powertrain. And under the hood you see a quite small electric motor. There's a lot of space. Why that? The car is based on a petrol-powered car, which then is called, guess what, JS4 without the E at the beginning. In this electric version that is ready for the European market, there's a 65.7 kilowatt hours battery pack in the floor of the car, and here you can charge the battery. 11 kilowatts AC and up to 70 kilowatts DC, so that's not the best charging performance out there in the market. According to the manufacturer, the state of charge increase from 30 to 80% can be done in round about 40 to 45 minutes. The car itself measures 4 meters and 41 in length, so it's a still compact car. It's not really an SUV, more a crossover, and the face is quite minimalistic. However, the profile looks quite Asian. There's a lot of chrome and black plastics, and here you see these black panels at the wheels that should make the look a bit more rugged, more SUV-like. The rear end again is quite minimalistic, and in my eyes it's the best part of the design. You've got LED rear lights, and they look a little bit like the headlights, and then you have the brand logo here, which is still quite unknown, at least here in Europe. The boot capacity measures 520 liters. There's no removable floor, but underneath there's a compartment where you find a full spare tire. It's a Michelin tire like we have on the car as well, and you can fold down the backrests of the rear seats, and then you can of course increase the loading capacity. We won't do that now because I want to check the seating comfort. Join me, we go into the car now. My height is 1 meter 92 centimeters. This is 6 feet 3 inches. And as with every vehicle I'm able to test, I adjusted the driver's seat into my individual seating position. There's enough room for my knees. Here in the second row, there's enough room for the feet as well, which is also due to the fact that the driver's seat is not adjustable in terms of its height. The seats here in the second row themselves are quite comfortable. We've got air vents for the rear seats passengers and 2 USB sockets. So this is quite modern and state of the art. The upholstery is artificial leather with contrast stitching. So I would call the color of it champagne. There are Isofix kit seats. Of course, the system is available, and we do have an armrest here with 2 cup holders. The headroom is also okay for large people or tall people like me. And of course we will have a look onto the door panel and these champagne colored elements you also find here, made of plastic, and then there's black plastics and some artificial leather as well. So it all looks quite okay, and also it's the finish is okay. Let's see if that's also the case in the first row. We go there. The driver's seat is partly electrically adjustable. The passenger seat is adjustable in a manual way. Only the seats themselves are quite comfortable, and the steering wheel is adjustable only in terms of its height, but still you can find quite a comfortable seating position. However, the position is a little bit higher than expected, and this is due to the fact that there's the battery pack in the floor of the car. The electric range, according to WLTP, is 410 kilometers. At the moment, our car's got a state of charge in the battery of 80%, and this should be enough for 327 kilometers. All this information is presented on a full digital display behind the steering wheel, also the current speed, driving assistance and trip computer information. The steering wheel itself got physical buttons, so this is quite easy to interact with. There's no touch or small touch fields or touch screens, so I quite like this. There's another display on the top of the center console. Here you see the app menu, and we also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as part of the specs. Both can be used with a cable connection, a wire connection between the smartphone and the car. And then you see, for whatever reason, the car switched to the climate or air condition menu now automatically. There is seat heating, which is it's more heating than seat. And then you can adjust temperature and air ventilation, for example. Going back home to the home menu, so here you see all the media, and then, for example, you can also adjust different settings of the car. There are additional virtual buttons here below the display, also to maneuver through the menu. You can, I thought you can access the media menu or phone menu for whatever reason. Well, you can still turn on and turn off the display. Some buttons work, some do not work, but you can adjust the temperature, for example, and then the car comes back into the aircon menu, as well as the function to turn on and turn off the aircon itself. There's a USB socket here and a 12-volt power socket as well, and here you see the shifter for the drive mode, whether you want to do drive reverse, you want to use the neutral mode or the drive mode. It's an electric vehicle, of course, there's no real transmission, and there's an electric parking brake and 2 cup holders. All the finish is quite nice. We've got soft materials here, and yeah, it looks nice and feels nice. Let's see how the car drives. We start our test drive. The maximum torque of the electric motor is 340 Newton meters. The car is fast enough, but it's not a sports car, especially when you accelerate from 0. There is maybe half a second where nothing happens, and then the car moves forward, but that's not the real ass-kicking electric powertrain like you know from other cars, which is not a disadvantage, because if you use the car as your daily driver, and here we've got a spacious crossover family SUV, then maybe this behavior is the better option. However, the powertrain and suspension would need a little bit of rework. The suspension is quite hard, and yeah, it feels a little bit of tuning to really bring more comfort also on the road, and there are some wind noises as well, so a facelift would be nice to really work on that. If we go into the car settings, we can change from an eco to a non-eco driving mode, and that means that the car accelerates a bit more dynamic, more sportive. You really feel a difference, which is nice because different driving modes only make sense if there's really a difference in between them. However, all these icons are quite small, and here we got an icon, say, more comfortable braking, whatever that means. I presume that means energy recuperation. However, if you activate or deactivate that, nothing really happens, and there's no adjustable energy recuperation, neither through pedals or a button or whatever, which is a shame. The fuel energy consumption, sorry, we cannot really judge. We have the car now for a day for test drives. The trip computer, that cannot be reset, by the way, tells us between 23 and 25 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. I think that is quite much, but so far we cannot really let you know if you could achieve the 410 kilometers WLTP range the brochure promises. If the car comes to market in Europe, why I say that I will tell you later on, then we can maybe check it in a longer test to really drive the car, recharge it, drive it again and recharge it again. This was my first test drive in the fully electric JAC e-JS4. Many thanks for watching. The car is currently under review for potential sales in Germany and other European markets. It's already available in some markets such as Switzerland, for example. And what we know from the German or potential German importer is that they are still calculating the prices. The price the Chinese manufacturer is asking for the car is a little bit too high, so they could not market the car at competitive rates at the moment. What could be a good price, in my personal opinion, with that specification, we've got a panoramic glass sunroof, we've got a quite modern infotainment system and a lot of space in the interior, and also taking into consideration the powertrain and suspension that are not state-of-the-art, but I guess okay for most use cases. The car should not be more expensive than 36,000 euros before deduction of any subsidies or tax incentives. So that means the car should be far less expensive than competitors from Korea, such as the Hyundai Ioniq 5, for example. The SsangYong Corando Emotion is also a competitor, in my opinion. And the JAC is definitely a car that should be a bargain deal, a smart deal for a reasonable price. Thank you very much for watching this video here at Asia Auto Ambassador. I hope you liked it. I look forward to your comments. I will read them all and reply to most of them. Thanks also to Andreas, the guy behind the camera, and see you next time. Bye bye.